In this video, I'm gonna go over every single GovTech certification all the way from S tier to F tier that you need to have to earn a high salary in GovTech. Starting with the first certification, which is the CompTIA A+ certification. And I know this might throw a lot of people off because the CompTIA A+ certification is actually what I got to get into GovTech, but I really would not recommend this certification for anybody who's over the age of 18. The CompTIA A+ certification is a certification that costs a lot of money, but does not give you a great ROI in 2025. Now, the CompTIA certification is about $500 and it's a two-part exam. When I took the CompTIA A+ certification, it was a total of $126 and it lasted for a lifetime. Now, you'll need to renew this certification every 3 years. And again, it's gonna cost you $500. And I've seen this certification take people anywhere from 6 to 12 months. Now, what the CompTIA certification is good at is teaching you the foundational information for computer software, computer hardware, also for networking, virtualization, and it even covers a little bit of security as well. But the issue with this certification is that it just will not help you land a job. There are much better certifications that you can get if you're over the age of 18 and you're trying to break into GovTech. By the way, if you're wondering how I know which certifications are better than others, let me tell you a little bit about my background. I've been working in GovTech since the age of 16. Like I told you before, I got into this industry with just one certification, which was the A+ certification, and I hadn't even graduated high school yet. Now, I've been working in this industry my entire life. I have over 16 years of experience. I've started all the way at helpdesk. I've worked software engineering roles. I've even worked overseas as well as a radar system engineer. I've worked technical account manager jobs for a GovTech cybersecurity startup. Now, I'm back to doing radar system engineering work as a test engineer that travels overseas short term. So I've literally seen it all in this industry, and I can give you a very good idea of which certifications you actually need that will help you make a lot of money in your tech career and which certifications you don't need at all. And I've been able to go from making $10 an hour in this industry to making over $275,000 a year. Anyway, enough about me. Now let's get into the next certification on my tier list. The next certification that is on my tier list in the F tier is the CISSP Associate Certification. Now, I know everybody's wondering, like, what's so bad about the CISSP? With this associate certification, I personally don't believe that it helps you land a job if you don't have the experience to match. The CISSP Associate Certification can cost you around $750, and if you don't have the 5 years of experience to actually get the full certification, you definitely should just skip it for the time being. And I hate when I see people tell people that are trying to break into an industry to go and get the CISSP certification, because this is a certification that's built for people that are trying to become cybersecurity managers or are already cybersecurity managers. So why would an entry-level person with no experience go after the CISSP? Save your money and get some certifications that will actually help you get a job. The next certification on my list is the CEH certification, which is the Certified Ethical Hacker certification that's offered by EC Council. Now, the reason why this certification landed on F tier is because of the price and just because it is not really good for people that don't have experience. So if you have no tech experience whatsoever, the CEH certification, it will go over ethical hacking theory, but it's not going to actually give you that practical ethical hacking experience that you're probably looking for. So this certification costs about $1,000, and if you have no experience, you definitely should skip it. If you do have experience, it can help you out and it will help you open up some roles in the DoD 8570 certification list, which I don't want to dive too deep into the DoD 8570 baseline certifications. We can cover that on an entire different video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to break down these baseline cybersecurity certifications that the government really finds valuable and why these certifications matter so much in GovTech. The last certification on the F tier is Cloud Plus, which is another certification offered by CompTIA. And the reason why this one is on the F tier list is because this certification is just not seen in that many job descriptions. You really don't see too many companies asking for anybody to have the Cloud Plus certification. You're going to see a lot of companies ask for specific vendor tech certifications like the Amazon AWS certifications or Microsoft Azure cloud certifications or even Google GCP certifications, but I hardly ever see Cloud Plus on any job descriptions, and I'm constantly looking at job descriptions every single day. And with the Cloud Plus coming in at $390, that is going to cost you a lot of money and not get you the results that you want. I think you would be much better off just going out there and doing some hands-on labs that you can find for free on YouTube, and then diving into actual vendor specific cloud certifications. Now let's move on to the D tier certifications. So for D tier certifications, first certification that we have is the CompTIA Pen Test Plus. The CompTIA Pen Test Plus costs $425, and it's not that hands-on, so you really aren't going to get the results that you want to see from this type of certification. I know penetration tester roles are very popular with people on the internet. A lot of people, when they first learn about cybersecurity, the first thing they want to do is become a penetration tester, but this certification is not going to help you do that. Again, I believe that for pen tester type of roles, you should be focusing on hands-on labs, hands-on experience, and first getting some experience in cybersecurity before you even try to think about becoming a pen tester. The next certification is the CompTIA Server Plus certification, which is now called the Hybrid Server Pro Core and Advanced certification. So it's now actually a two-part cert that helps you learn how to become a data center technician, essentially. And this certification, it's not the worst, but it is kind of expensive. It's about $460 to get both of these certifications, and it helps you prepare for the Microsoft Azure AZ800 and AZ801 certifications. So if you're interested in becoming a data center tech, this certification could potentially help you. I have seen this certification on some job descriptions. It's not super common, but when it comes to a lot of the skills-based hiring and how now we have moved on to 8140 in the DoD space with certifications, this certification does make you qualified for some data center technician roles. So it's not a complete waste of money. I just think that there are other ways for you to get into data center technician roles and get better hands-on experience at the same time. The last certification on my D tier list is the CompTIA Linux Plus. And I know now people are like, okay, you know, you keep saying these CompTIA certifications, and the only reason why I continue to bring up CompTIA certifications is because these CompTIA certifications are all over the government DoD 8570 and 8140 certification list. So CompTIA has been working with the government for a very long time now on creating certifications that the government finds very useful and looks at as a standardized list of certifications that they can rely on to know if somebody is qualified to do a job or not. When it comes to the Linux Plus certification, this certification is now $425 because CompTIA has increased their prices a lot over the past few years. And this certification, it's not hands-on like the Red Hat certifications. This is an all multiple choice certification that you'll take, and it basically covers a lot of information about Linux, but it's not specifically about system administration Linux questions. And I definitely think that's where this certification can be improved, is focusing more on just Linux system administration tasks like the Red Hat certification does. So when I was looking at this certification, I had signed up for the beta exam and I started studying for the certification, and I saw a bunch of questions that literally had nothing to do with actually working a Linux system administrator job. I've been a senior system administrator before, and literally there were so many things in there about Linux that I have never seen, never heard of, and it does not apply to the job or real world experiences. So I think you literally could just completely skip this certification and go a different way to learn Linux. Now let's move on to our C tier. The first certification in our C tier list is the GCFA certification offered by GEOC, and this certification can cost you up to $10,000, and this is a lot of money to spend on a certification. And for this certification, I definitely recommend, like, if you're interested in getting this certification, have your company pay for it. If you aren't familiar with the GCFA certification, this is the GEOC Certified Forensic Analyst certification. This certification validates that a security professional can investigate formal incident response events and advanced forensic investigations that they might need to do, which can include data breaches, advanced persistent threats, and anti-forensic techniques. Now, the GEOC and SAN certifications are amazing certifications that you can get. They teach you a lot of information. They are open book, but since they're so expensive, like I said, I don't recommend people just going out there and spending $10,000 on a cert. These are certifications you always want to allow your employer to pay for, but they are extremely valuable in GovTech, and they also can land you very high salaries. So people that get these GOC certifications, they're definitely making well into the six figures, especially once you combine that with a government security clearance. The next certification on the C tier list is the CompTIA ITF Plus certification, and this is the IT fundamental cert, and I actually prefer this certification over the A plus. And the reason why I like this certification is because the military actually uses this cert to help weed people out on if they should even be in the IT field in general. So this certification is a great step into the IT space. You can get the ITF Plus certification to start to make your way into the GovTech industry. It does not mean that it's going to land you a job per se, but I know a lot of people just love to have that validation on, hey, I got my first certification, and I think this is one of those great certs. So whether you're under the age of 18 or maybe you're just somebody who's thinking about getting into tech, starting with the ITF Plus certification is not a bad idea. And this certification costs $125, and it teaches you basic IT information, and it's not as in-depth as the A plus certification. I like to say when it comes to CompTIA, a lot of their certifications, they have information, it's a mile wide and just an inch deep, and the ITF Plus is a little bit more focused because, again, this is just a certification to just help you understand, do you even like computers? Do you want to get into this field? And do you have what it takes to really start progressing in this industry? So if you get this cert, like I said, does not mean that you're going to land a job, but it's going to help you get that validation that you're looking for. The next certification that's making it onto our C tier list is the CyberArk Defender certification. This certification can cost you about $200, and a lot of people want to get into identity access management, and this certification can help you get there. I have seen this certification when I'm looking at IAM roles for people who want to get into this industry. This certification will help you learn the CyberArk platform, so that way you can become an IAM engineer. And with this certification, it's going to help you land roles that pay anywhere from $80K to $110,000 a year. And I also want to add on the Microsoft Azure SC300 certification, which costs $165. And this is Microsoft's version of their identity access management cert. And this certification is going to be great for anybody who wants to get into GovTech and they want to start making their way either into identity access management or system administrator roles. What I want people to understand about identity access management is it's really just a niche within system administration. You do identity access management in system administration roles, so don't get too caught up only on the identity access management job titles, whether it's IAM analyst, IAM engineer. Start looking into system administrator roles too. Now let's get into our B tier list of certifications. The first certification on our list is the Security Blue Team Level 1 certification. This certification costs about $460, and this certification is good for people who want to learn some hands-on skills to become a SOC analyst. Now, I have seen it on a few job descriptions in GovTech, but even if you don't see it on a ton of job descriptions, I think it's a great cert for the people who don't have experience that are looking to become SOC analysts, cybersecurity analysts, and start working in the cybersecurity field. So if you pair this certification with other big GovTech certifications like the Security Plus certification, this can help you land a cybersecurity analyst role once you get your foot in the door and get some experience in this industry. I always like to be completely honest with people when it comes to cybersecurity roles. If you don't have any cybersecurity experience, if you don't have a cybersecurity degree, and if you don't have a clearance, it is very difficult to go straight to cybersecurity. I always recommend people to get their foot in the door in this industry first and then job hop into a cybersecurity role. One of my students literally worked a help desk job for 6 months, and then she job hopped straight into a cybersecurity role. So it doesn't take as long as you think to get that cybersecurity dream job that you're looking for or your cybersecurity dream career. You just got to take the time, build experience, learn the IT skills, get the right certs, and then start making your way in. The next certification on the B tier list is the Cisco CCNA certification, which is the Certified Cisco Network Associate cert. And this cert costs about $300, and it's great for people who really want to dive deeper into networking, people who want to get into network technician roles. If you pair this certification with the Security Plus, you definitely can get a network administrator role, which will pay you anywhere from $50,000 to maybe $3,000 depending on how good you can do on the interview. But this is a great certification to really dive deep into networking. And some people don't like it because it's vendor specific to Cisco, but I think that's great. In GovTech, majority of our networks are running off of Cisco switches, Cisco routers, and other Cisco equipment. So if you have that experience and that deep knowledge of Cisco and how everything works, this can be a great certification to get you started in this industry. The next certification on our B tier list is the CFR certification, and this is the CyberSec First Responder certification, and this is good for people that are looking to get analyst roles or incident response roles in GovTech. This certification costs $367, and again, you're gonna want to pair this with the Security Plus certification, and you're gonna want to still use those same strategies that I talked about before to job hop into these cybersecurity roles if you don't have any experience. But this is a great certification to start opening up those cybersecurity analyst roles to you if that's where you're looking to go to. The last certification on the B tier list is the ISC Squared SSCP certification, which is the System Certified Practitioner certification. And this is really like the pre-CISSP certification, right? It's like the junior version of it, but this certification is great to get your foot in the door into entry-level cybersecurity roles. I've seen a lot of people get this certification and the Security Plus and jump right into some entry-level GRC analyst roles. And this certification is affordable. It's $249. I really don't think you can beat that, and this is why this is the final certification in the B tier list, because it can help you get a job, it can help you learn the right skills, and it can help you get into GRC, which is not as technical, and help you make your way into cybersecurity roles. All right, let's get into the A tier certification. So the first certification on the A tier list are going to be the Splunk Core and Power User certifications. Now, these certifications are great for people that want to get into cybersecurity. Splunk is used a lot in the GovTech industry, so if you get these certifications and pair them with other certs like the Security Plus, this will help you out a lot in your cybersecurity career. So these Splunk certifications help you learn their SIM tool, so that way you can become a SOC analyst in GovTech. These certifications do cost between $125 to $200, so they are very affordable and they have a big impact on your career. So once you get into cybersecurity analyst roles in GovTech, you're looking at making anywhere between $90,000 to $130,000 a year. The next certification on our list is the CompTIA CYSA Plus, which is their cybersecurity analyst certification. It costs $425. Yes, CompTIA did go up on their prices, and this certification is great to learn about how you can become a SOC analyst. It's pretty much like part 2 of the Security Plus certification, and it teaches you more about how to read logs, threat detection, and incident response. Now again, with the cybersecurity analyst roles, right, this certification, once you pair it with other certs, you have your experience, you can actually get into cybersecurity analyst roles, you'll be making anywhere between $80,000 to $130,000 a year. The next certification on our A tier list is the CASP. This is another CompTIA certification, the Certified Advanced Security Professional cert, and this is good for people that are looking to get into more advanced cybersecurity roles. Maybe you're trying to become a cybersecurity engineer. This is considered a DoD IAT level 3 certification, so it will help you out a ton with these cybersecurity engineer roles. With this certification, once you're into the cybersecurity field, you can be making anywhere from $130,000 to $165,000 a year, depending on your experience, depending on where you live at, and which clearance you have. If you don't know how to get a government security clearance, check out my free GovTech course. It'll be linked in the description below. I literally walk through exactly how you can land your first GovTech job without any experience, step by step, completely for free in this course. Last certification on our A tier list is the Red Hat Certified System Administrator certification. This is honestly one of my favorite certifications. It costs $500. It is a little pricey, but it does come with a free retake, which you really don't see that often anymore. So with this certification, it is all hands-on. There's no multiple choice whatsoever. It's all hands-on Linux system administration skills. So this certification focuses on Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and almost everything in GovTech runs on Rail. So when it comes to this cert, it's going to help you out a ton. If you pair this certification with the Security Plus, you're easily looking at low 6 figures in your very first GovTech role. I've had a student that came through my program and also combined it with Yellowtail Tech, and he was able to get the Security Plus and he got the Red Hat Certified Sys sysadmin cert. He went from being a police officer to being a Linux system administrator, making about $106,000 a year with no experience. So to me, this certification is literally one of the best bangs for your buck that you can get, and it's going to make the most impact, because with a lot of people who have no experience in tech, the thing is you want to get those hands-on skills. So focus on the certifications that are literally just hands-on certifications. They're going to test your skills to see if you can be a system administrator, and you don't have to go up against that battle when you go into interviews with interviewers questioning, hey, can you actually do the job, because you don't have any experience. This certification takes all of that doubt away. All right, so if you're still around on this video, we finally made it to the S tier list. These certifications, they are great certifications. They can help you land jobs, and they're gonna just help you get started in your GovTech career. So the very first certification that I want to call out for the S tier is the OSCP certification. This is the Offensive Security Cybersecurity Professional cert, and this certification is really gaining a lot of traction in GovTech. Now, when it comes to this certification, it's offered by OffSec, and OffSec is really trying to step their game up and be well respected in the government sector. So before, when you got this certification, it would last forever. The government does not like lifetime certifications whatsoever. So what OffSec did for the government sector is they made a new certification called the OSC Plus, and this certification costs $1,749. So it has a huge cost to it, but trust me, it's worth it if you really want to get into penetration tester roles, if you want to get into cybersecurity analyst roles. It's going to be worth every penny. So when you're taking this certification, there's no multiple choice questions whatsoever. It's all hands-on, and you're going to be utilizing a Kali Linux sandbox, and you're going to go through different offensive security practices that you need to know how to do that prove that you can be a penetration tester. So if you're up for the challenge and you really want to get a jump start on your cybersecurity career, I think this certification is great for you to get, because I went and took a look on clearancejobs.com, and I saw that there are many different jobs that are asking for this certification now, that it's not a lifetime cert anymore. The next certification on the S tier list is the CISA certification. This certification is offered by ISACA, and it's the Certified Information Systems Auditor certification. And this cert can really open up a lot of doors for people who want to become cybersecurity auditors and people who want to really focus on GRC. So things have changed a little bit. A few years ago, you could get this certification to go right into being a GRC professional. Nowadays, you might need to actually get some experience first. And this certification costs about $760, but it is a great cert, and it will help you a lot in your career. So if you're ready to take your career to the next level, I definitely recommend CISA for people who want to be GRC professionals. As a GRC professional with the CISA certification, you can make anywhere from $120,000 to $165,000 per year. Again, this all depends on where you live at, clearance you have, and how much experience you have, but this certification is definitely well respected in GovTech. The next certification on my S tier list is the Red Hat Certified Engineer certification, also known as the RHCE. This certification costs $400, and this is the next level up from the RHCSA. So this certification focuses more on automations and Ansible, which are skills that you really need to have if you want to excel in your career as a systems administrator. It also can help you get into Linux system engineering role or even senior system administration roles. With this certification, you could easily get into roles paying anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 a year. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, I've seen different roles for Linux system administrators paying $250,000 a year for this certification. It is so valued in GovTech, it's not even funny. So if you're looking to go down that path, you eventually want to become either an infrastructure engineer or platform engineer, I highly suggest you get the RHCE. The next certification on our S tier list is the CISM certification that's offered by ISACA. So CISM stands for Certified Information Security Manager certification, and this cert costs $760. So it is expensive, but it's definitely a top tier cert. The CISM certification combines cybersecurity management with project management. So it's really kind of like a mix between the PMP certification and the CISSP. That's how I view the CISM cert, and you can make a lot of money with this certification if you're interested in cybersecurity management. I've seen some professionals make around $250,000 a year with the CISM certification. So this one is definitely a heavy hitter, and I highly suggest that you look into it if you've been debating waiting on getting the PMP or the CISSP, I think the CISM will get the job done for you. The next certification on my list is the CompTIA Security Plus certification. This certification to me is a complete game changer. In my opinion, it's the most valuable GovTech certification that you can get. It can open up the door for people that are entry level into GovTech, and it can really open up more job opportunities for people that are already working in GovTech. So the Security Plus certification is going to help you learn foundational cybersecurity information. It's not going to teach you a bunch of hands-on cybersecurity skills, but it's just going to give you that foundational information. And the reason why the Security Plus certification is so valuable is because the government uses this certification to allow you to get root or administrative access to their systems. So if you want to be a IT professional that's able to actually use the government systems in full, you definitely need to have the Security Plus certification. And the reason why I even got the Security Plus certification is because when I tried to go overseas and apply to my first radar system engineer role overseas, the hiring manager told me that I was a good fit. And he told me that the Security Plus certification was a requirement for every single engineer that was working on the program, and told me literally straight up, do not apply to the role because you don't have it. So once you get it, come back to me and then we can talk about moving forward with next steps. So I went and got the Security Plus certification, and by the time I got back to him, they actually had already filled the role, unfortunately. But a few months later, he got back to me and I was able to interview for the role. I crushed the interview and I got the job, and that's how I got my first job overseas as a radar system engineer in Japan. So this was when I was 24 years old, and it literally took my salary from $72,500 a year to $140,000 a year just by getting the Security Plus. Now remember what I said, the government and the government sector, they need you to have specific certifications, and sometimes there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to get these certifications because it's a contractual requirement that the government has for their different contracts. So there's nothing that you can do about it but get the certs. So with the CompTIA Security Plus certification, you literally can land entry-level GovTech jobs like helpdesk, IT support, IT technician, IT analyst, and with this certification, you can get jobs for entry level that are going to pay you anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000 a year. If you already have a government security clearance and you get the Security Plus certification, it opens you up to even more roles. So you can do cybersecurity analyst roles, or you can do the entry-level help desk type of roles. But I've seen people get job offers with no experience, just a clearance and the Security Plus for anywhere around $55,000 to $65,000 a year as a cybersecurity analyst with absolutely no experience. But if you're further in your career or you just want to move up in the GovTech industry, get the Security Plus, because the average Security Plus holder makes about $112,000 a year, but literally you can get a bunch of roles. So I've seen people who literally only have the Security Plus certification and some experience make anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 a year. And I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, the salaries in the GovTech industry, they can get really wild once you know how to navigate this industry. And the last certification on the GovTech certification tier list, this is the most S tier certification that's out there. This is the CISSP certification offered by ISC Squared, which stands for Certified Information System Security Professional Certification. This cert is an absolute game changer for cybersecurity professionals. Once you get to the point where you have 5 years of experience, I highly recommend you get the CISSP certification. When you have the CISSP certification and a clearance, I've seen people make anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000 a year. And I know some people are going to be listening and they're like, man, I'm not making anywhere near that. I hate to break it to you, but you might be underpaid. So if you're not making at least $150 with the CISSP, it's time to start looking in other places. This certification is for people who want to become cybersecurity managers or senior cybersecurity engineers or ISOs. There are a lot of different opportunities that you can get into with this certification. And like I said before, if you have this certification and you have a clearance and you're not making high six figures, it's definitely going to be time to make a move, because the CISSP is a complete game changer. So if you're further along in your tech career and you need some help trying to get to that next level, I can definitely help you out and help you get to these 200K plus salary roles. But what you're going to need to do is click the link in the description below and fill out an application to see if you're a good fit to work with me. And I have no doubt in my mind that if you work towards these certifications, that you'll have an amazing high-paying GovTech career. But just having these certifications is not enough. You also need to know where to find the best high-paying GovTech positions, how to to perform your best during interviews so you can actually get that job offer, and just how to overall navigate your GovTech career and all of the little things that are specific to your situation when applying to GovTech roles and moving up in your GovTech career. And with everything that I've given you, you really have two options. You can try to do everything yourself and have to navigate all of the ups and downs in the industries, all the hurdles that you might face, and do it on your own, and I wish you the best of luck. Or you can work with me and I can help you get into your first GovTech role or scale up your GovTech career. If you pick the second option, then click the link in the description below to learn more about how you can work with me to land your dream GovTech job. And that's it. That wraps up this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos. I'll see you in the next one.